Well, the day was going so well, all up until our flight got cancelled. So welcome to Vanuatu. Now we're here in Vanuatu for one reason and one reason only. Well, technically two, but it's to visit the island of Tanna. And Tanna has a couple of things that are high on our list of things we wanted to do. First of all, we are going to stay in a treehouse, and the second thing is visit one of the most active volcanoes in the world. Now, as Tanna is quite a small island, you can't fly directly to there. So we're currently in Port Vila, which is the mainland of Vanuatu, and we're here for about a day before we get a much smaller plane from Port Vila over to Tanna. So we've got a day here just to explore, have a little bit of a look around, before we leave very early morning tomorrow to head over to Tanna. And once we arrive in Tanna, that is when the fun begins. So we are staying right on the other side of the island, and that's right at the foot of Mount Yasur, which is the active volcano on the island. So you do need to get a 4x4 all the way over there, and it takes about an hour to an hour and a half to get there. And the main thing that attracted us to this property in particular was because at night you can actually see the glow of the volcano, and apparently you can hear it rumbling constantly. However, there'll be a little bit more on that later, but for now we are going to see a little bit more of Port Vila, and then we're going to move straight on to Tanna. So come along and let's go see Vanuatu. Well, this morning it's a very early start. It's currently about 5 minutes to 4 in the morning. We fly to Tanna, and unfortunately we had a very last minute change of flight from a nice and comfortable 12:30 in the afternoon to a very early 6:30. So we're here a couple of hours before, and apparently not needed. So when flying domestic, apparently we're the only ones. And it turns out that 2 hours early is merely a suggestion than a rule. But first we need to get on this flight and get up there, so let's go. finally here on the island of Tanna. Unfortunately, due to unreliable airways and changes to our flight, our time here has been shortened almost by half. Our flight was pushed back to the following day, and our flight out of here has actually been brought forward to the morning. So unfortunately we've lost about a day and a half of the time that we're here, but we're going to try and make the most of it. Today we are going to have a day fully up in the mountain, so it's about midday at the moment, and we're going to go up to the mountain, to the top of the volcano, and we're going to spend around 3 to 4 hours there. We're going to spend a little bit of time during the day just exploring around the area, and then we're going to wait until it gets dark to hopefully see the glow and the embers and the eruptions. So welcome to the treehouse. Let me show you around. So we're about to head up to the mountain now, and we're going to go and explore around the crater. The family that we're staying with, actually their son is going to take us as a guide up to the top. Now the walk, they say it's about an hour, a little bit under. It looks quite far, so I don't know how true that is, but we're going to go now, so come along. So after our hike through the bush, we managed to hike a lift right to the top, freebie, and now we're going to start our hike right up to the top of the volcano. So because of the ash, we need glasses, and because of the the smoke and the chemicals that come out, we need gas masks for the top. So let's go. Does that smell you? Good morning. So after yesterday, which was quite a busy day up at the mountain and just exploring, and we got back pretty late after staying so late to see the embers, today we're going to take a bit of a chill day. It's our last day here because of the issues from the flights, so we're just going to enjoy. We're actually staying with a family, so one of the main things for visiting Tanna was to visit where we are now and to stay in the treetops and with one of the local families. So and the family that we're staying with are so kind and so welcoming. You know, they're teaching us an awful lot about the traditions of Vanuatu, the different tribes and the different cultures that they have here. So it's really nice just to learn so much more about a country we really knew nothing about. Now the uncles and the cousins, they've actually just come over, they've just started a fire alarmingly close to the tree and the tree house that we're in, so hopefully that doesn't cause any issues. But they've just come across and they've invited us over for a carver ceremony. Now carver is a root vegetable, or a root that is here, that they dig up. It is a root that you bite off and you chew, and it kind of gives you not a hallucination, but it gives you a different sensation. It gives you a bit of a numbing of the mouth. Now they will often chew quite a lot of the root, and we did take a bite earlier and it was very tough on the teeth. I think we have very fragile teeth in the West, but it is something that they will use actually as part of the ceremony to talk to nature, and it's something that for certain people in the cultures, that will give them visions of what they should or shouldn't do next. And like everywhere in the world, smoking isn't evaded here either. It's still quite popular here, whilst not one of the things they do as a natural remedy. It is something that they do enjoy. However, they do it slightly different here, and I managed to capture that on video as well, so I'm going to show you that now.
Sorry, Mum.
And after what has been just an incredible 2.5 days in Tanna, we so wish it had been longer. There's so much more to explore on the island, and it really is one of the most beautiful islands I think I've ever been on. It's just so green, so plush, it's so densely vegetated as well. It's just an incredible place to be. And so now it's time to go and pack up our treehouse, ready to set off for the airport tomorrow morning, to start our next adventure. So let's go. Well, the day was going so well, all up until our flight got cancelled. And it's not looking good. So not only was our flight cancelled this morning, it's also been cancelled this afternoon. The last 3 days worth of flights have apparently also been cancelled out of Tanna. You know, all of this was said by the customer agent, who not only was sat on YouTube but did not have a care in the world, so they're very reluctant to help. The issue being we actually leave for New Zealand tomorrow, but apparently according to Air Vanuatu, the flights for the next week are fully booked up, so there is not much chance of us leaving anytime soon. So not only that, to add insult to injury, we have no Wi-Fi, we have no signal because it's not included in our phone plan for here. We have no money because nowhere on the island accepts card, and we have no ATM anywhere near, so we have no food according to that. Yeah, it's rough. Well, it's been a few hours and we are still on Tanna. We have not left. Apparently it turns out that there is a bit of a storm over in Port Vila, which is the main hub of every flight leaving. So it looks like we're going to be here for at least the night. We have to go back in the morning to hopefully try and get on the morning flight, but there seems to be an endless stream of people that we've come across that are all waiting for flights from days ago. So unfortunately we're here, but I mean, there are worse places to be stranded, but we just have places that we need to be and flights we need to get. That is just causing a big issue. So we've just checked into a hotel that's quite close by the airport, just so that we know that we can get backwards and forwards nice and easily, to try and keep a close eye on whatever the situation is happening. Now, whilst I'd rather not be stranded, this place is kind of amazing. and thanks to a reward program that we've been a part of with hotels.com, we pretty much managed to get this stay tonight completely for free in this place, so it pays to be part of reward schemes. So after a few nights in the jungle, we're desperate for a shower and desperate for some warm water. So we're gonna grab a shower, grab some food, and just try and hope for the best for tomorrow. So fingers crossed, and let's see what happens tomorrow. Okay, so update time. After a very long wait this morning, we got here at 6 o'clock in the morning. There was no staff here or anything, so we just hung on and stood right at the check-in counters. Someone finally came, they started mulling around, they then got a form out and somehow took our details and just pointed over to a door that said departures. So we're in some form of a departure lounge at the moment. I just hope this means that we're all getting on the flight today. So we've had a further update, and apparently the plane has taken off from Port Vila, so hopefully that is a very, very good sign. We have a flight!
Where have you been, bitch? Where have you bloody been?
So close, but so far. Well, after finally making it out of Tanna, we finally got to Port Vila, but unfortunately that wasn't the end of the bad luck. When we got here, our flight to Auckland has been cancelled as well. Thankfully this one has been rearranged and it's there for tomorrow morning, so we know that we're definitely going, but we just had to check into another hotel for another night until we're able to get there. So I'm going to go have a little dip in the pool, go for a coffee, and just pray that we finally get to Auckland.